Hello, everyone. I am Bella Bright, and you are watching QTNA on Amazing 102.5. And we got a question for you, obviously, and it's, when do you know when you can afford to take a risk? Now, before we start answering these questions, we're going to let this marinate. We're softening the soil. And before we actually answer, I need you to introduce yourself because I don't know who you are. Why are you in my studio?
Why are you in my studio? Guys, what's up? It is Jayhlin Michelle Bella. Now, you know, this was my studio before it was your studio. Let's get it.
I think it's like on my driver's license that I live here. This is my studio.
It's so good to have you back. The last show that we were on air, Bella was not here, and the energy was needed for sure. She brings a nice little spunk to the energy that I like.
Very needed.
Yes. The question that needs answering is, when do you know you can afford to take a risk? And today we have an amazing guest with us. He came in with some nice energy, and we're going to do a little drum roll to introduce multi-disciplinary artist releasing a new single coming up very soon, Denim. We're going to let him introduce himself.
Thank you for having me. My name is Denim. That's Denhim. The H is silent.
Okay.
Representing Houston. I appreciate y'all having me. I really do appreciate y'all having me, seriously.
Thank you so much for coming. We always enjoy having fresh faces on here. So, Denim, we're going to let you answer first. To you, what do you believe? When do you know that you can afford to actually take a risk?
I feel like it's more of a emotional and spiritual question. I feel like it's a very open-ended question.
Yeah.
But you just know when the time is right. And it could be even a moment where everyone is against you and that decision. But if you feel like the time is right, then the time is right to make that move for yourself. Rather if it's business, rather if it's your career, rather if it's a relationship, rather if it's leaving a relationship, whatever is best for you. Do what's best for you. And I feel like there's not really a time limit or knowing when the right time is. I feel like that's an open-ended question for everybody. So
I like that.
I
like
do
that
have
answer.
like a follow-up question. How do you take risks? Are you somebody who's just like,
yeah.
I have an idea, I'm gonna start tomorrow? Or are you like getting an Excel sheet, making budgets, making plan C, D, E, F?
I feel like
not even alphabetical order.
I feel like I've always been a risk taker, especially since as a kid. I'm a Scorpio, so like I always take risks.
Okay, Scorpio.
I always take risks. However, I feel like the older I'm getting, I do become more calculated, and everything is more tactful and more thought out. However, I've always been somebody to take risks. There was a point in my life, a small portion of my life, where there was a lot of people around me to where I wasn't doing what I felt was right. I was doing what everyone else around me felt was right. And that was really the lowest points of my life. So I feel like when you're in control of your own destiny, and there's people around you that are in support of that, that's when things are the best, and you're actually aligned with your actual calling. So that's what I feel.
I like that. I definitely want to get into that period of your life where you felt like you were surrounded around the energy that wasn't serving you, especially being someone who is channeling their career. You're performing, you're really putting yourself out there in your career, and having that negative energy can push you back. So when we come back from the break, I want to get into that.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Jayhlin Michelle, one of two hosts of QTNA Questions I Need Answers, and now for my other host to say her name.
Hello, my name is Bella Bright. I don't know why, but every once in a while, I'm like, let me give y'all my full government, and I almost say my middle name. And we ain't close like that. But we can be if you're watching every week Fridays at 6:00 with the best guest in the world.
Clock it.
So today we have Denim. We are talking about risks and reward. I think it's very important to underscore that we are all young people. You know, we aren't people who have like decades of experience, and we're just trusting our abilities and know that things will work out, and we've made connections and all that. So everything feels like a risk.
And just to add on that, age doesn't have to simplify any of that.
True.
It's not even about the age. It's more so just like we're all in creative industries. We're all channeling different things. So with that comes risks. And before the break, we were talking with Denim, and he kind of expressed that there was a period in his life where, you know, the people around him weren't really serving him. So can you go into that? How did that affect you and your career?
Well, just in a brief synopsis, let's share my testimony a little bit. Well, both my parents are no longer here. They're both deceased. My mother passed away when I was 9. She was murdered, and then my dad passed away a couple days before my graduation. When I graduated high school, mind you, me and him were never that close to begin with. However, I had got into a really abusive relationship from age 17 to 23. And I
Wow,
can
that
truly
is a
say
big
that was a
portion.
time period. I was always doing music. I actually had a deal. I had a whole separate situation prior to even me becoming Denim and evolving into that part of my artistry. That was just such a dark period in my life. And it wasn't even just that individual I was in that relationship with. However, it was just my management at the time. It was just everybody around me trying to make me something I wasn't, make me not authentic of who I really was, and just to make everybody else comfortable. And I was the one who was deteriorating in the inside. So that was my turning point, was around early 2023. And I really decided to just do a clean sweep of everybody and just kind of, you know, I knew there was a risk because I was like, what if I burn all these bridges? What if this was my only chance? Yeah. What if I never find another relationship again? What if I never find, you know, what if this was it? You know what I'm saying? Because of that fear of abandonment, that fear of losing. But I was like, you know what? I went through all this as a kid. I can do this again, and I can start over again. Wow. And if it doesn't work out, so be it. I can say I put my best foot forward. And that's from that point on, I decided to really just buckle down and just make sure everybody around me was in alignment with what I had going on. And that's when I made that change and decided to make that sacrifice, that personal sacrifice for myself. And that was some of the hardest times in my life, but I don't regret it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Wow.
So,
wow.
I love that. I feel like it's really good to hear when people are like, let me just start a new life. Let me cut everybody who doesn't serve me off, because that's something every single time I'm trying to watch something inspirational, I'm trying to get guidance from like celebrities and people who have proven to be successful. They're always like, you need a good community around you. And for me, it's kind of scary because my community is my family. And although I have cut off one person before, I cannot be like, well, I mean, 3 strikes, you're out. And then there I go, no family, you know? And so I think it's really inspiring whenever people who aren't even that far from my age are like, I've had time to be like, snip, snip. And now I found people who really understand, who really like support me. Because I mean, I haven't known you for very long, but you definitely give the energy that you're thriving, you're building something for real.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
And just to like bank off of what you said, Bella, it's a beautiful thing that after experiencing something like losing your parents, which I'm so sorry that you had to experience that, but already after experiencing something like that, you're letting go of one form and then having to like latch on to people and you find out they're really not for you. Like, what was that turning point to where, you know what, I need to change this? When
I had freshly had gotten a government job. I got this really amazing job, and I had planned on leaving my ex anyways. It got really bad. We were having fights every day, physical fights. I had gotten several. It was a lot. And I was fighting back. I won't say that it was just him. It was toxic in general. It was just not good. And it was not normal at all. And I thought it was normal, but it was not normal. And I had got a government job, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this money. I'm making all this money. And I got my first check, and this is gonna get really personal, but I got my first check, and I had decided I'm gonna buy a gun, and I'm gonna end my life. I was so unhappy. Even regardless of the money, I was like, money doesn't buy none of that material things. It don't buy happiness. And that was the turning point. I was like, everybody got to go. I was like, because it's either going to be me or them. And I had to go, and I chose myself. And that from that point on, I lost a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? I lost a lot of, I won't say family because I didn't have that to begin with, but I lost a lot of people that were supposedly my life at the time. And I was alone for a while, and but I grew a lot in that time. And I went back to church, and I really just got centered with myself. And it was definitely a growth period for me, but that's how I evolved into Denim. I started working on the music. I began writing about my experiences, and and then from that point on, then I put out Shot in the Dark on my late mother's birthday. It has over 300,000 streams, and yes,
congratulations!
Thank you. Coming out with my second single, I've done 2 TV appearances. It's just been a lot of blessings, and none of it. I never would have foreseen any of that. From that day, I was sitting in that car ready to end everything.
Yeah.
But it all was centered around letting a few individuals out of my life go.
Yeah. So, just banking off of that, it's thank you for being vulnerable with us. Because I'm sure it's really imperative to like your creative processes and the things that you release and the things that you write about.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, like, what are some things that you remember from not necessarily moments or instances or situations, but more on a reflective note? What are some things internally that you still keep from those years back then that help you with your music and your career now?
Praying, meditating, finding things that make me happy. Finding things like, even if it's going to the park by myself, going to the movies by myself, having self-care days. Just I know it sounds so minimal, but it's real, and you need those times for yourself, because a lot of times we'll find ourselves in situations to where we're barely can make it ourselves, and then we're trying to help others on top of that, and then we feel so drained by every single night. So finding those times out for myself. I love to write. I just write in general. Like, I write songs, but I love to write poems. I like to write my thoughts and my feelings. That's very therapeutic for me. So those are some things that really help me. Working out, that also is another thing. It's a great way to release any type of negative energy that you have pent up from the week or from the day or whatever you have to go through at work or etc. So those are some things that really help me.
So before we go into our next segment, just going off of this tip, what's something you would tell other artists and creatives who may be in negative situations that are hindering their creativity? What would you tell them to get out of that?
Look within yourself. The answer is within you. It's really that simple. I know it sounds so cliche. Everyone says it, but the answer is within you. If you look in the mirror, and you talk to yourself, people like what what it is. We all know what it is. We just run from it, or we don't want to. We're scared of what the unknown could be. But sometimes the unknown could be the promised land, and you don't even know it.
That's so true. You don't know.
Yourself.
So profound.
You really don't know. And just being a creative myself, it's hard to really produce and get what you want out there when you're dealing with X, Y, and Z and all of these negative things going on. It's really difficult. So I know it's probably been really like a weight off of your shoulders, having all that off of you. Yeah.
So, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I don't regret anything that I went through. I always say that was my growth period. And even going through the hardships, that was a growing experience, because I can help and have these type of testimonies, have these kind of conversations that could be people that are going through worse situations and they don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's kind of where I look at it and how I move forward. Because sometimes it's hard to find a positive out of a negative situation.
That's very true.
So,
That's very true.
Well, guys, we have had a great segment here. I feel like we've learned so much. We've heard so many profound things said. I'm just really soaking it up right now. Next segment, we're going to come back and we're going to play a little game. I'm not going to spoil it at all, because the whole point is that you guys come back and listen, because you're going to definitely miss out if you do.
Thank you, guys. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. What is up, everybody? It is Jayhlin Michelle, otherwise just Jayhlin, because I like you. The thing that we're talking about today is risk versus reward. And we have the artist Denim here with us, releasing a new single very soon. And I really just enjoy the fact that his music is based off of his own experiences, That is the job of an artist, to reflect the times, right?
Exactly.
Bella has a game in mind for us to play. I love games. I'm going to turn it over to Bella.
Yes. So right now we're going to play a segment called Risk It or Stick It. This is a scenario. This is a game where I'm going to tell y'all a scenario and you're going to figure out how you're going to react to it. Are you just going to take the risk, do something, or are you just going to stick to whatever you're doing and be safe?
So this is a game between me and Denim.
It's more like a game of like a would you rather, Are
you answering?
No, I'm not answering because I have the scenario.
So it's a game between me and Denim, which means it's a competition, which means you're going to lose.
Okay, well, okay, we can make a competition of like
It's
who
crazy.
makes the best decisions, but like in general,
No, I'm
there's
kidding.
not really a point system.
It doesn't have to be.
But if there is a competition, that means that I'm the judge and I don't like Jayhlin, so I think you're gonna win.
Okay.
I'm like, yes, thank you.
Denim's just here for the ride at
I'm
this
just- I'm
point.
just-
Here for the
Yeah.
vibe.
He's here for the vibes.
Okay, so my first scenario is okay. So this is something that we're all going to relate to. You get your check on Friday, right?
Okay.
You've been waiting on this check. You've been saving up for a while. You're that one check away from finally being able to buy a new car. And this new car is going to change your life. I'm not going to say how because we all understand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, the second you get your check, you're about to go check it because pretend it's the 90s. You can't just snap it into your phone.
We're
You're
not the
about
90s though.
Right.
We're not in the 90s, but like just pretend you're old school.
But
So you're-
hypothetically.
You're walking into the bank and you see a close friend, and they're like, I couldn't make my rent and I need $300 so I don't end up on the street. What are you doing? Are you taking? Oh wait, hold on. I forgot the one thing. The friend is like, that's the one friend that you know that's gonna become famous. Like they're doing the art, they're doing the art thing, they're doing whatever, and you're just like, they're so close.
And hypothetically, just so I've understood, hypothetically, we're in the 90s, right?
Hypothetically, we're in the 90s. You know, like they're one step away.
They
They're
had
like,
pawn shops in the 90s, right?
You said take your clothes
Whatever
to
we
the
got,
pawn
we
shop.
gotta-
Do they
let's
have
do
pawn
it.
shops?
We gotta get this done.
They had pawn shops.
They
Right?
had-
I'm sure they did.
Girlie, they been had pawn shops, Bella. You know about the
I
90s?
didn't wanna sound crazy.
I just don't know how people used to sell their stuff. I assumed that they sold it to their friends and stuff.
Okay, so what would I do in this situation?
Yeah.
Well, number one, I'm not about to give away my whole check to my friend. So sorry, but I need it. Number two, I will probably offer you my place to stay and give you a little bit of money and find some ways to help you make some more.
Don't you live with your family?
Risk management.
Don't you live with your family?
I do,
Your parents let you have friends over?
as long as I ask and say the situation.
Lucky.
Also, please stop saying my information on the microphone. Nobody needs to know
I didn't give an
where I'm
address,
living and what's
location,
going
or
on in
who
my
these
life,
people are. I
Bella.
just said family.
Bella.
It could be a long lost.
They don't
uncle
need to
that
know
you
how
met
old I
yesterday.
am, where I live, what I do, what I don't do. I'm Jayhlin Michelle, radio host of QTNA.
Okay.
Alrighty, Denim, your turn. What would you do?
Like I stated, pawn shop, it never
Pawn
fails
shop.
me. Pawn shop. I'm like, friend, what we got? We got a TV that we don't want no more. Do we got a guitar we don't want no more? What was something that something that you have some jewelry that ex-boyfriend didn't that you
See,
don't want no more?
because this is my issue, Bella.
Yeah.
Why I gotta give away all my stuff when I'm
They're
also
really, really close.
they're really close. Well,
Sorry to everyone close
risk
to
and
Jayhlin.
reward.
Risk and reward. Okay.
Okay, next question.
This one's a good one. So you've been working, okay, you've graduated from college, you're in a really good, stable job, okay? You're making good money, like $75,000 a year, kind of good money. Insurance, benefits, FO1,
Pay time off.
of course, pay time,
Retirement.
and vacation, and retirement.
Yeah.
You got everything. You're
Yeah.
about to get a raise, the raise that
Yeah.
you've been wanting. And then you make a post, and it goes viral. You make another post, it goes even more viral. You make a third post,
You're famous.
This is sounding really nice.
Yeah.
you're literally famous. So the thing is, to actually do the whole influencer thing, you're like, I might have to move to LA. I might have to quit my job. And your boss is like dropping hints like, hey, next week I got a surprise for you. Make sure you're here on Tuesday at 12. Dress up. The upper ups are going to be here. What are you doing? Are you going to continue with the stable job knowing that like you really got something, or are you going to go for your passion? Are you going to be like, hey, I'll take the hit to my paycheck for a while because I might really be able to do something here?
You first.
I'm
That's
the risk taker. I would find who I know in LA, and I would put like, hey, like, first of all, I would find out if I could do a transfer. That would be the smart thing. I would be like, hey, is there a way? I would find out if the company is also based like worldwide or if it's just state based. If it's worldwide, I would go ahead and do the transfer and be like, bye. That would be me. If not, then I would probably have to work out something else. But I would take that risk. I probably would quit, honestly, if it really meant that it would lead me to the next step to where I really would want to go, I would make that risk, because I can always come back and get another job if it doesn't work out. That's how I look at it.
True.
But that opportunity ain't always going to be there.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
yeah.
So what I will do, what I'm thinking is, you said my videos are going viral, but that doesn't mean I'm getting money.
correct.
A lot of people,
you're not putting in enough time to get the money.
but listen.
But
A
the money
lot
could
of
come.
people, the money can come, yes, but why can't I do both? Why can't I do my full-time job that's giving me benefits, giving me my security, and then on the side, I'm seeing my videos blow up, so I'm putting in more time. That's called a 9 to 5, 5 to 11. No sleep, work. And then one day, all that work will pay off, and I'm going to be making some money on, and then I can quit my job. That's my plan.
That sounds really scary, very tiring. I feel like I would probably just.
I already
choose
do
to
that.
stay at my- See, because
I work all day, every day. So honestly, me doing a 9 to 5, 5 to 11 is already what I do.
In college, though, you have to do that.
Yeah.
But
after you graduate, don't you want to be able to be like, let me go out to brunch with the girlies?
This is my plan, guys. I plan to work extremely hard until about 40, 45. By that point, I should be rich, or at least very, very, very comfortable financially.
Okay.
Then I'll be like, hey, girlies, y'all want to go to Cabo on like a 3-month trip?
got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
That's my plan. Yeah.
Okay, so Jaylin's definitely having an early retirement. Love that for her.
I hope so.
If you have like one of those like garage apartments that I can stay in every once in a while.
I got you. You know, if you're the friend asking me for a check at that point, I will give it to you, because at that point I'll be making some money.
And it wouldn't be a thing.
Asking you for your whole check and being like, hey, I
Here
have
you
to
go,
get
girl.
my nails done.
Here you go, girl. I have savings. You need a place to stay? I got you.
Oh my God.
But don't get too comfy.
Yes.
Okay, next thing.
Okay.
What's next? I like this. What
Next
do you think?
thing.
Do you like this? It's okay if you don't.
No, I do. I
The way he said, I was not believing it.
No, that's just me. That's just me.
You just
Still
a Scorpio. You
scared
just
about the
chill.
next scenario.
You're just chilling.
Okay. The next scenario is like we're like 45, and like we've set a foundation. Our careers are set. We got the goal that we wanted to reach, you know, early, rich, you know, like everything's great, right? Now you have a revelation. You feel like a prophet in the Bible. It's almost as if God talked to you yourself and said, this is your calling now. You did that, been there, done that.
Cut the fluff, get to it.
This is the new thing, and it's a complete 180. It's probably a job that you have to go to school for or get a certification, get a lot of like experience in, but like it would fulfill you so much more than what you've already done. And it's like you're starting from scratch all over again. And it's like everyone that's your competition is half your age, has like time to waste to just be like, yeah, I'll work for free because, you know, I'm just in college and don't have bills to pay. But you got bills to pay. At this point, you probably got kids. Sending them to college, maybe. Got to pay rent. You got a mortgage, actually. So It's like, do you take the risk of restarting your career? Or do you just stick at it because, you know, in 30 years, you're going to retire anyway, and you can just do whatever you like for fun. Maybe you can find like little small groups that do a similar thing just amateurly.
Wait, I'm confused. So in this realm of life, I'm doing a job that I don't like and I'm unhappy.
No, you like that job, but you've reached all your goals. It's no longer satisfying you as you used to.
You've plateaued in life.
You've plateaued and you're like, oh, wait,
definitely rebrand.
I'm going to be an astronaut at NASA or something.
Definitely rebrand. If I am at a point in life where there's no ups at that particular area, then yeah, I'm going to move on to the next thing that I have a passion for. But my passion won't involve me to go back to school because I'm already getting my degree in my passion. So I won't have to do that.
But what if your passion is something like mathematics?
That's not my passion, though.
You don't know what you'll be doing at 45, Jayhlin.
I highly doubt that mathematics is going to be my passion at 45.
You might be watching the Science Channel one day.
You might be a professor at Yale.
Yeah.
You never know.
You might be watching the Science
A
Channel
PWI?
one day.
Now that's a bag right there.
Okay, well maybe not.
A professor at a PWI after graduating from an HBCU? Me?
Well, I don't think a PWI.
No, I get you.
Actually,
I know these are all
like
hypotheticals. I feel like if it's something that you're passionate about, I'm a big person about like I don't want to do a job or a career if I don't have a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it might give me money, I won't be happy. So I don't want to do it. So I mean, in my eyes, if there's ever an opportunity to do something that I love, I'm going to take it. Yeah. That's
Even
mine.
if it's like you're risking like your family's well-being, like you've got kids and a mortgage in this scenario.
I do have kids and a mortgage, but in this scenario, if I have kids, I have a high yield savings. I have protection.
Okay.
So in this world, I'm still me. I'm gonna be protected financially.
And that's when planning comes in.
That's when exactly you gotta be
strategic.
strategic. Especially being 45. I'm a grown woman at this point. I got no time to play.
Period. That's so valid.
That's true.
Okay. What about you?
What about you?
I don't plan on having no kids, but
okay. Well, then just a mortgage. Then.
But me a mortgage. Yeah. I y'all know me at this point, so yeah.
Yeah, I already know you would go take it.
If it's, I always look at it like, will this come around again? What are the likelihoods of this coming around again?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to regret it later. Like 6 years, I'm like, I should have did that. I should have, could have. No, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. If it don't work, it's okay to go back. And also, I say this: have a plan B and have a plan C too, if you can, if that's possible. That's when planning and being strategic comes into play. But if you want to do it, and if your heart is like, please, let's do this, do it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, what do you got to lose? Now you could lose your arms, but
what do you got
at the
to
same
lose?
time,
everyone's got risks to take.
Everybody's got risks to take, and you know, look at all these people that like have been successful, like Oprah, like Tyler Perry, like people just in the media or just people behind the scenes, executives. They've all had to take risks and make really hard decisions at certain points to get to that next level. And I'm sure it's never been easy. Yeah. But you have to do what you have to do. So you know what I'm saying? I would do it. I would do it.
Period.
I would.
Well, that was really fun.
I know, right?
Good job on your game.
I had to start easy and then work your way up to something that it's like, ooh,
I kind of don't like that.
Period.
That's a good job.
Period.
I like that. Okay, guys, we will be right back. We're going to get to know some more about Denim's new single coming out. And before we close, boo. Alrighty, y'all. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is Jayhlin Michelle with QTNA. That is Questions That Need Answers. We just had so much fun on the show with Denim. Bella had a great game for us. What'd you think about it, Dem?
I liked it. I had a good time. You know, I definitely liked it.
We learned that Denim is a risk taker. Give him a shot and he will take it.
Period.
I'll come back and tell the tale.
Yeah. We just want to get to know a little bit more about your single coming out soon.
Yeah. So the current single that's out right now, I have posters. Camera right there. Shot in the Dark is out right now. It's been out since October 9th and it's been doing really well. This music video and the single. And then March 12th, the music video and the single for my second single, Suspects, will be also out as well.
That's Wednesday?
That's on a Wednesday.
Okay, so by the time this airs, it'll already be out, and you guys should already be listening to it. I don't know why. I don't know why you guys are wasting your time. You've had days.
Tell us a little bit about this new single coming out. What place were you in when you created it?
The song is about when you find out your significant other is, well, specifically, the song is about you finding your significant other laid up with somebody else while you're coming home. That's kind of the layout of the music video.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so it's called Suspect, and it's like your intrusive thoughts or whatever. Which you go.
What are your intrusive thoughts?
A little Left Eye-esque type of.
What does that mean?
You know when she burned down the house or whatever.
Oh,
like that.
Okay, Scorpio.
Yeah.
It's giving Scorpio.
Yes.
I love songs where it's like, don't
play with me because you'll find out.
1, 2, or the 3.
You will find out. And the song is called Suspect. Like, I suspect you was doing this. Now I'm about to be the suspect in this situation. But in the end of the video, it does show that I decide to not do that and I choose myself and I leave the situation.
I love that. I was just about to ask you.
Intrusive thoughts of the emotions that you feel.
I love that.
Find out some betrayal. So that's kind of the song, the synopsis of the video. I shot the video in New York City. So it was really cool. And
I remember when you said you were in New York. Wow.
Yeah, and I shot the video there. And a couple special guests, a couple of actors in the video. So it's really a cool video. Yeah, I really am excited about this. I hope people like it. So,
that's so exciting. We'll have to play it on the radio next week in honor of, or actually this week in honor of your show.
I'm excited. Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm so thankful to have had you today. I'm glad to have learned a little bit about like your past, to see how it affects your music now and what you write about and things. There's always a story.
Right.
With that being said, we love to leave our guests off with a positive note, something affirmative. And then after you say that, you can say where to find you.
remember, everybody, choose yourself, find your higher calling, and make sure that everyone around you is in alignment of what you have within your heart. And that sounds really simple, but the answer is within you. It's not within everyone. It's not within your best friend. It's not within your mama. It's not within your teacher, whoever, or your boss. It's in with your heart and God. And as long as you keep that and stay centered, you'll be fine. And everyone can find me at It's Denim. So that's ITSDENHIM on all social media platforms all across the board. And you can also reach out to my management, Kia Jeffries, if you ever want to happy out, or my website, itsdenim.com. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, of course. What about you, Bella?
My inspiration is to make a list. Everybody, you can do what you want to do. You're just not making a list. You don't know exactly what you're trying to do.
And checking it
so
twice.
You feel overwhelmed. I'm in a situation right now where I feel overwhelmed, and I just made a list. And now it seems doable. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it all done early because it's actually not that much. I was just being dramatic, as we know I tend to do. So I'm going to inspire you guys, even if it's something simple. Make a list. And it's almost spring, so go outside.
Mine would be time is really in the eye of the beholder. And what I mean by that is time can either be really slow if you keep believing that. Time can be going by very fast if you keep believing that and don't put attention to it. You have the time. You make the time. Time is in your mind. Yes.
Period.
I am Jayhlin Michelle with QTNA. You can find us on Instagram at We Have the QTNA. Make sure you follow us. We do things like showing you cool places to go to every weekend, different music playlists, showcasing the people that we have here as guests on there as well. And of course, make sure you guys tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. to check out who we have and hear our conversations. That's it for me. You have anything, Bella?
Nope. Just watch next week.
Yeah, we'll be back. You guys have a blessed one. Peace out. Boof.